What's up, you guys? Chet-Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all from quite literally the middle of nowhere. Anyway, you guys, today we are out in the Cherokee National Forest, out on Forest Road 221. And today, guys, we are out here to find what little remains of the old Dutch settlement. Now you all must be wondering what the old Dutch settlement was. Well, in order to tell this story, we must go all the way back to the 1830s when the Cherokee were forced off this land in an act known as the Trail of Tears. Now, when they were forced off the land, a lot of white settlers came in and, for the most part, took control of the property. In some cases, some people were getting as much as like thousands of acres, pretty much pennies to the dollar. Well, there was one New York businessman known as Edward Bayer. Now, Edward Bayer, he wanted to create a vineyard. He wanted to create other things, and he felt this cheap property here in the South was a perfect opportunity. And what he did is he gathered French settlers, German settlers, and Italian settlers, immigrants. German immigrants, French immigrants, and Italian immigrants, and he gave them an opportunity. In exchange, we're working down here in what was once the Cherokees' homeland. They would be granted U.S. citizenship. Well, over time, starting from 1847, families would come and go, people would leave, until the last immigrant or person lived here in 1927 died. So there's not really a whole lot left, but today, guys, we are going to see what is left of the old Dutch settlement. So without further ado, you guys, anchor down. As we make our descent, you guys, you all will probably notice something about this. This is not a regular patch of forest land. No, if you look at the ground hard enough, you will see that this is an old road. You see, in 1842, when all this was going on, Christian Dietz, who was a part of one of the original settlers to the old Dutch settlement, he was the one who constructed this road. As you all see, there's not really a whole lot left. Now, the road was further improved in 1847, and for the most part, a lot of this roadway, or I should say trailway in this case, it ran very, very close to the Dutch Creek. Now, the Dutch Creek, it was a really important water source for the Dutch settlement, for all these people who were coming down here into this area. It was their water source. It was their pretty much their bread, their survival. Now, they do say that there are a few pieces left down here in this area. Somewhere we should be seeing two impressions. These two indentions in the ground. This was from I think it was the Nicolani family, one of the original settling families in this area. Now, however, I don't think there's really, well, that's about it really that's left in that. And in this area as well, they also had a blacksmith shop at one time. They had a blockhouse. The blockhouse was really for just protection and kind of like I guess you would say kind of like a good stopping point where people could trade, get their goods, you know, get their food essentially, and kind of trade amongst themselves, kind of like fur pelts and whatnot. And hopefully today we will find it, but there is the remnants of an old grist mill that's supposedly out here. So I'm kind of hoping we will find it. And this might be a good thing. This is probably a sign that we're getting close to one of the buildings, at least. Because if you look close at that kind of grass does not grow in the wild. Typically you see that kind of like near log cabins and whatnot, or along roadways. So Either we're close to one of the houses or one of the remains of the cabins, or, well, it's only further of a sign that we're on the old road that the old Dutch settlers used to take. I would not want to be anywhere near that culvert when it rains, because I imagine if it like rains like really heavy, then yeah, you can forget coming into this side or getting anywhere near the main road. But regardless, I think we're actually standing on top of one of the old log cabin sites, because there's a lot of that rock right there. And if you follow it, I mean, it even goes even up in this area too, which I did read a book, and they did kind of talk about like how this house would be the first indention. And I'm looking, I'm seeing rocks, but I'm not seeing a cabin. By the way, if you want to read that book, here it is. This is a really, really fascinating book. This talks a lot about the lesser known history of East Tennessee. So if you are from the Cleveland, Bradley County area, Polk County area, this is the book that you want to read. There is a lot to it. And it's like the more we walk, the more open this trail gets. I kind of like that. I think that's a good sign that we are near the old, well, we are on top of the old settlement. Because we are walking an old road that's been here since 1842. And it kind of looks like the U.S. Forestry Department has kind of taken care of it in a way, or at least kept it from disappearing. I wonder how far we're going to get back here until we actually find the remnants of something. Hopefully not terribly far. You know, it feels like this just goes on for miles and miles. But you got to think, a couple hundred years ago, this was the only way in and out. And across the way, that's the main road. I believe if we keep walking in this direction, we may find some stuff. Here, that is the Gulf. I think there may be a few homes there. I'm not sure, or at least like old chimneys and whatnot. I know somewhere along here there is a rock wall, but I kind of doubt that any of this is, well, in this area anyway, at least. You know what, you guys? I'm not really finding a whole lot, but then again, I wasn't really expecting to. We're going to go down into the Gulf, because if I'm not mistaken, this is, well, what feeds into the old Dutch Creek. And hopefully I can do this by not falling into this big mountain of rhododendron. That would not be good. Ooh. Yeah, it's just like it keeps getting more and more steep. I don't think that's gonna, well, it probably, yeah, it's holding. Ugh. You know what this reminds me a lot of? This reminds me of that movie, The Blair Witch Project. So I'm out in the middle of nowhere, not really lost, but kind of am. Who knows? Maybe I will see a ghost. But probably not. But getting bit by a rattlesnake would probably be scarier than seeing the Blair Witch. Ah, sucked. I had to go all the way down that. Now, it didn't seem all that steep at first, but I did quite a bit of sliding. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, we are down here in the old Dutch Creek, everyone. We made it. Close to 200 years ago, people would be getting their water from this stream. People would have their cabins in this area. But it looks like there's nothing but rhododendron. But the old Dutch Creek is really pretty. I believe we're going to get back on the main road, main trail, and I think we're going to call it a day for this one. Anyway, guys, I'm not having much luck finding anything, sadly. I did find a few depressions, and of course, I am standing here on the main road for this settlement. I kind of wanted to find more, but I guess not. But I really hope that some of the descriptions of this place has helped you all understand what it was like here. Because there's only so much, well, there's really nothing left. I mean, this has been about 200 years, and you might find a few rocks here and there, but sadly, it's been lost to time. But anyway, you guys, remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that you all care and that you all want to see more awesome content. So without further ado, love you all very much. Vlog over.